Hey guys, how we doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. Hope you guys are all well. This is the Sunday Bitcoin and Ethereum DMT update for the 29th of February 2020. So yeah, straight over to the charts. Yeah, you can see 15-minute DMT byline. It's coming down. It's down now at 8885 area, so give or take a few bucks. 8888, that's a good number. That is triple eight, lucky number for the Chinese. Yeah, so that's coming down. Bitcoin is still in this downward trend, looking weak. I mean, this potentially looking like we're setting up a descending triangle here, so maybe down to sub 8,500 again, and then maybe a bounce back up to around about this level, and then we'll take it out down to 7,500. It's a possibility, but then a lot of people are short, so there's definitely the possibility of a spike up in the price. What I will say is that stock markets recovered a bit of their losses. I mean, nothing spectacular compared to the recent loss they've had in the past week, but on Friday they did rally a bit, and that is no doubt due to hopes the Fed are going to step in. The Fed fund futures markets are pricing in nearly 3 rate cuts this year. So the likelihood of 3 rate cuts. But what may possibly happen? One of two things. The Fed may try and get ahead of the curve. So it may actually next week at some point, if we do get a continued sell-off, step in with an emergency. I would guess if they're going to come in with an emergency rate cut, there's no reason why they shouldn't just do a 50 basis point cut as opposed to a 25, because they pretty much know that what the problem is. I don't want to say what it is because apparently YouTube doesn't like you saying that. But basically the issue with the contagion going around the world is that it is not something that monetary policy can obviously help. I mean, there's the impact of it can be helped. And the price of any asset can be helped by throwing basically cheaper money at it, but it's not obviously going to correct the underlying problem, which could be getting worse. So yeah, so that being said, they may step in with an emergency cut, and I would guess if they're gonna either go hard or go home. So if they do that, I think they'll come with a 50 basis point cut, or they may just decide that there's nothing really they can do monetary policy wise for this. So that is a possibility. They may just wait till the actual planned FOMC meeting, and then just decide then what they're going to do. But anyway, how this relates to Bitcoin is if we do get an emergency 50 point cut, or any sort of cut next week, even a 25 basis point cut, any unplanned cut next week, and Bitcoin is gonna rally, it's gonna go up. That is for certain. So there is obviously that risk that the shorts have in the moment. I mean, the chart clearly looks like we're going down. But obviously we don't know obviously whether the Fed's going to step in. So I would be careful being overly short, because once that news hits the wires, it's going to be pretty much a gap up. It's going to be blowing out stops. It's going to be flying up fast. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have slippage in your market stop orders to the upside. So yeah, something for you guys to be cognizant of. my new favorite word, to be cognizant of the fact. As we were saying the other day, in the DMT bear trend, so you want to look for resells. I think the 15-minute Dominator is good for the resells, as in the re-entry for the shorts. I've not properly looked at it over other shorter time frames. It's a bit. So maybe to see what the 10-minute looks like, just to have a look. Sorry, yeah, there's just too many signals for me there. So yeah, sticking to the 15-minute, because that also has a 15-minute DMT line on the chart too. So obviously you have your short, have your sell here. You can get out your short here if you're running it based on DMT, based on Dominator alone, and then obviously enter the re-short here. Then you could get out of that, enter the re-short there, and then and then you've got we had another reshort opportunity that's just happened just now. So that is around this level here, 8,700. So you can see we're $100 under that. And yeah, I mean, if we take out the 8,500 level on this dip, I mean, that would be a fantastic short as well. So that is how I'm gonna be playing this the short-term trend, the short-term basically trending, re-entering Dominator sell and DMT sell trades, and the same with buys. When we're in the opposite market, I'll be looking for buys when we flip back to buy when we're still in a 15-minute DMT uptrend. So that's how I'm going to trade that. I'm also going to have separate bots that are going to trade here based on the 25-minute buys and sells. So obviously we've got the sell here. And then yeah, we had the buy there, which I would have taken the buy based on the 25-minute Dominator, but we would have been ended up getting out of that trade. So it's not the biggest loss. There was the opportunity in this trade to have, yeah, probably not, to be honest, actually. But yeah, especially if you were averaging, because I did actually set my orders to buy on here. So I did buy at 2 different levels. I bought at the level we were at with the limit order, and then I bought $50 below, and I had orders $50 below that. But then I was watching what was going on in the stock market at this point, and I basically pulled those orders and scratched the trade, pulled the remaining order and scratched the trade, because I wasn't really thinking that we were going to reverse on this, and that did turn out to be the right decision. So it's good to know that you've made the right decision in hindsight, but obviously you've got to make these decisions at the time based on what you see going on. So even if the decisions are wrong, you've got to be making wrong decisions for right reasons, not making the right decisions for wrong reasons. So you can make the right decisions and be wrong, but that's fine. That's trade. That's what you want to do as a trader. You don't want to be making what is the right decision but for the wrong reasons, because you will just overall, I don't think that would be a winning strategy. So yeah, so we did then again get the 15-minute buy again here. So you could be working along here, you could be working and averaging in, and this could turn around. I mean, we could have more positivity in the stock market, the Fed come in, and this could be the bottom, this could be the gap fill. 8,500 was support in Bitcoin, is a support level. I mean, we'll go over to the 4-hour chart, so you can see this. You can see 8,500 is a support level. So we did speak about this before anyway. So it is fully acceptable. It's fully appropriate. It's not going to be anything anyone's going to look back and think, well, I never could have predicted that happened. So yeah, so basically we could rally from this level. The Fed could step in. Stocks could go up. Risk could be back on. Yeah, and then we could have a rally up from here. What I would say about that rally, I would personally think that rally would be a selling opportunity. So because like I said, I don't think any form of monetary policy can change the can basically impact a contagion. It can only impact the effects that has on the economy, and by that all it can do is just like change the level of the bar, the level of price of assets, but then they're going to keep going the same way based on whatever contagion is affecting them, which I believe probably will still be down. So that would over medium term be a selling opportunity, maybe even short term be a selling opportunity, but we will see. We'll see what happens with that. But yes, over the 15-minute again, just one quick last look at this. So yeah, DMT byline coming down. I'll be much happier going long with a break of the DMT line than I would be of just taking these Dominator longs whilst the DMT is still short, because we are very strongly trending here. But like I said, stocks have basically they've arrested their fall, and they are obviously just pinning their hopes on the Fed. So there we go. So that's that. Over to Ethereum. I mean, I'm not going to spend too long on Ethereum. It's very similar to Bitcoin. The same similar sort of charts. Yeah, and like I said, we're going to try it with a Dominator. Dominator was a buy there. You would have to decide if you did want to buy this. That I would if I was if I had the bot set up, I probably would have taken this trade, just purely because I mean, the chart is looking relatively constructive. This is a lower low. Sorry, this is a higher low than this low, which we didn't get in Bitcoin. Let me just quickly wish you back over to Bitcoin. You can see we had a lower low here. This was a lower low. That's obviously different to this higher low. So I would have been more comfortable going for the trade, even if it's just because I thought if we do resume downwards, there's more scope for an upward move, which there actually was. I mean, the Bitcoin buy and the Dominator 25-minute. Sorry, that's a 15-minute one. Sorry, right over to the 25-minute. So yeah, so I apologies, it would have been that one. So you just ignore that 15-minute Dominator analysis. So how I'm trading the 15-minute Dominator analysis for Ethereum, and also for any of these markets when we're under the DMT, is to look for more sell entries. So that would have been here, reselling, and then we'll actually be reselling here again, which we did see in the Bitcoin as well. So this is potentially telling us we are going lower. If it carries on being as efficacious as it has been. So there we go. So that's all I really wanted to say on the Bitcoin and Ethereum. So remember, weekend price action often has a mind of its own. I mean, the bigger 9 to 5, not even 9 till 5. Obviously, traders work longer hours than that. The Monday to Friday traders, the weekday traders, are not in the market at the moment. So there's a lot more scope for the algos and bots to push these markets about. So I wouldn't be surprised if the weekend we got like a push down, actually, because I believe there's a likelihood that we could push up next week, especially if stocks keep going up, and especially if the Fed steps in. So I would be fancying a swipe of these lows, forming yet another lower low in Bitcoin, blowing out more stops that are obviously placed underneath here, and then maybe taking us down to around 8,200 level, and then a rally up from that. But obviously that's just pure speculation, guys. That's just how I could see it playing out. One of the outcomes. I mean, the other one is just that this is just a selling opportunity in stocks and Bitcoin now, and then we'll take out the 8,000 this level in this sort of descending triangle we've got, and then make our way down to 7,000, mid 7,000s area over the course of the next week. So we'll see what happens. We will see this play by play. I'll be doing the videos pretty much twice a day for the Bitcoin and the crypto ones. Remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. Always consult a financial advisor. Always be careful. Don't put trade. If you can't sleep because you've got a trade on, your trade is too big. If you're risking money you can't afford to lose, then your trade is too big. It's a dangerous game, trading, guys, especially these crypto markets. They can do whatever, and especially with the volatility we've got going on in the moment. I mean, we haven't got especially large volatility for Bitcoin, but with the volatility in more traditional markets, that could feed through to an actual real large volatility event in these markets. And I think that quite could possibly, if I was to predict which direction we could have the largest volatility event direction in, it would be up with emergency rate cuts. Thanks for listening, guys, and I will speak to you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.